Testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so lost my internet and I don't know where to find it. Had to go restart the router. I just need to recheck my equipment, get things going again. Should be in the game soon. This usually means it's about to get in. I hear audio. Oh, there it is. Let's see how much it ruined my game. No battle results. Okay, so I was streaming and I lost my internet. Is what happened, and got a little angry, broke some stuff, broke some windows, got the internet working again. So as I was saying, if you would like to platoon with someone who has horrible internet, I am playing SPGs. You know, I'm playing live. It is September 23rd here in the Philippines. I do have horrible internet because I moved out of my apartment into a homeless shelter. And you know, the homeless shelter, they don't have good internet. Had a great game. I did 2,700 damage in this tank. Got the mastery badge. But I didn't record it. A little slow. Not a lot of people on the server right now. I gotta do some computer work. My SSH sessions all need to be restarted. Need to move my drink around a little bit. Take care of all the stuff that fell down. Rearrange some stuff. Okay, this is obviously Sacred River, Pearl River. How is everybody doing today? This is the AMX 13F3. This is a high performance French Tier 6 SPG, and the map is something. Pearl River. Pearl River. This is, this used to be one of my favorite maps until they destroyed it. They removed it from the game. They always ruined it. They just kept, it's like they've got a team just for ruining maps. And the reason why is because you had these bridge battles that would occur over here where I'm pointing to on the minimap. And it was a challenging location to play, which is what I like. I like the challenging locations. But the developers and all the crybabies don't. So what they do is they make it so that it's not challenging anymore. And then, I still enjoy playing. You just miss that challenging aspect to it. If you watch my older videos, you can see how I used to play on Pearl River. But you know what? I know I don't have a lot of Pearl River videos on my YouTube channel. Because I hate YouTube. No, actually, I love YouTube. Don't demonetize me. I love YouTube. So I really don't know all the correct positions yet to play on this map. But I'm going to guess that this is not the correct position. You need vehicle correctness is the term. I don't have vehicle correctness. Okay, I'm going to try moving this way. I'm going to aim my tank in this direction. I am going to press the W key and be disappointed. See how disappointed I am right now. And then now I am going to look at the minimap and realize that my team is clueless and is unaware of how to play. I don't know how to play. If anybody wants to platoon with me, please send me a request. You can do so right now. I don't charge any money, but I would like a kiss. So, it's free. Maybe we'll be able to help out our ally over here. I'm a team player. I like to help people out. Oh, yeah. So there is an enemy vehicle, which is A20. He's over here. Oh, look at that. The score is only 3-11. So we know he's going to come my way. I can only do so much here. I'm really limited on options. Maybe it is because of the issue with the gun arc. This might have a low gun arc, which means you can't hit over stuff. You can't double Oreo it, as they say in my country. So I'm going to hide over here in the corner. Oh, they spotted me. Okay, buddy. Come and get me. He didn't come this way for some reason. Oh, yeah. Do not care what you think just got taken out of the game. He doesn't care what I think. See if we can reset cap. Beautiful Pearl River music. Okay, we're going to turn around and go for the cape. Come on, turn the F around. Cheater. The guy cheated. What he did was he was using the special mini-map feature, and he saw where I was, and then he got behind me when I wasn't looking. Got 500 damage, which is probably going to make me an Unicum. I had an idea. You know how they've got the mastery badges? They should have an Unicum badge. 500 damage, 200 stun. You can see that my performance was stunning. I'm a little bit disappointed because the last game lost my internet connection, and I got nothing out of the game. You know what? I guess it doesn't matter because I'm only working on the first gun mark, but it's painful when you're working on the third gun mark and you're not a gun mark patter. Okay, I need to do something real quick. If you want to platoon with me, you can platoon with me right now. You just log into the game, send me a platoon request. This is called the AMX. AMX is like 13F3 or something. And this is Pearl River. Just want to double check everything. AMX 13F3AM. I will platoon, but I am also going to be playing SPG and tier like 6 and 7. I'm working on this AMX vehicle today. The rest of them already got gun marks. I'm going to load up one of these personal reserves. Got a ton of them. I probably got like 200 of them. I got over 100 for crew alone. Okay. Oh, I am streaming. Wow, that's pretty cool. At least it says I'm streaming. Just checking through some stream crap. I was streaming on Twitch, but we don't like Twitch. It's okay. It's good. You know what happens on Twitch? Everyone just says the meanest things. It's just a constant stream of mean things. Like, watch, I'm going to say something like, oh yeah, I'm working on getting my gun marks, and they'll clip that as if it's like something that they think I can't do or something like that. Everything that they clip is whenever I fail at something. AMX 13F3. You know what? I think I'm going to start live streaming on YouTube every night this month. Just to see if I like it. One cool thing about playing SPG is you really learn to appreciate being alive at the end of the game. You can get a lot of damage at the end of the game. And you can get a lot of hate messages in the chat. So this is a tier 6, 7, 8 game, and that means that there's going to be more hit points, which is good for getting gun marks. If you can penetrate. I like. Oh, come on! Don't. Did it disconnect my internet? It didn't. Maybe it did. I don't know if it disconnected my internet or not. I guess it didn't. Yay! This is the AMX 13F3AM. This is a French. This is a French Tier 6 SPG. The map is Stinkfried Line. So first of all, I am live streaming and be live streaming every day this month for the rest of my life, forever. And if you want to platoon with me, you can log in on the NA server, which is North Africa, and just log into the NA server and send me a request. I am playing SPG Tier 6, so I will platoon with Tier 6, 7, and 8. El cat. So how do you say Hellcat in Spanish? It's gato. Gato. Demonico would be demon cat. It's got to be something like, what's another word for hell? Heck. The heck cat. The heck cat. Yay! Destroyed the M44 blind shot. I actually am. No, I don't want to say that because, that's an inappropriate joke. There really are people who fire. Fire bad. Can't make jokes nowadays. Everybody's offended. That's an autoloader. He's got a 10-shot or something like that. Maybe it's 10-round autoloader. So that means that when he goes out to fire, he's going to expose himself for a while, which means that it's not like he's going to peek and hide. I don't remember the term because I don't do it much. He's not going to peek out and hide. So when he goes out to fire, the chances of hitting him with an SPG or with a hammer or whatever implement is actually quite high. There's a J Panther. I actually like playing these J Panthers. And my knee hurts, so I just wanted to add that also. That's going to reduce my game performance. Yes, so I predicted accurately that he was going to reverse, but not enough. I totally saw that coming. But I did get the 118 damage, and I'm up to 691 damage. And we got this Carnarvon over here who is hiding intentionally. This looks like a T-29. We're going to nail him hard. Want to nail him fast. Obviously I want to aim in more, but I want to get stun damage, so you got to nail him fast. So again, anyone that wants to platoon with me, you're welcome to send me a platoon request in the game. I'm going to be playing tier 6, 7, 8, something like that, and I will be playing SPG because of my lousy internet connection. My landlord sold the apartment that I was renting from him, and that ended our personal relationship, but he owns a hotel, so I am now living in his hotel, which I've actually lived here for a while. I like hotels because, if you don't like it, you just get up and leave. but the internet always sucks. Everywhere. I mean, in the U.S. it sucked at hotels, and in Spain it sucked at hotels. In Colombia it did. Like, if you're in a major city that might have, I think over here there's 1 million people in Cebu. I've been to like 20 hotels. One had good internet, and that's where I am right now. And it's not perfect. It's just better than all the other crappy hotels. So we're going to leave him to live, and we're going to go for the Hummel, the Hummel. Maybe it wasn't the smartest move. I'm very smart. And the reason why is because, I like to play with my food before I eat it. So he's going for the SU. And I know that the SU is right here. So I am going to pre-aim at this location. And I'm going to anger. Oh, look at that. He's moving. I did get 162 damage, but I also got 138 stun damage. So that really worked out well for me. You want it, once you get down to like 8 to 10 seconds, you really want to work on aiming. So that's what I'm doing right now, using the aiming feature of the game. Oh yeah, you effed up, loser. So I got 155 damage, plus 262 stun. 327 stun, that's pretty cool. I'm up to 2,000 damage, 859 downward arrows. We're going to go after the J Panther. We're going to hit him in the behind, in the buttocks. You see the King Tiger is using his rear armor to defend against the T-54 Mod 1. Oh, okay, so I screwed up that shot. Actually, I got 286 damage plus 130 stun. So we are spreading out for the SPGs, which is good because you don't want the T-54 to go and then spot 3 vehicles and then have his way with them, especially an autoloader. So it's kind of better to spread out. If you're like 2 or 1, I don't know. I mean, sometimes it's better to be together, but sometimes it's better to spread out. I guess it depends on the map. Maybe in a city map, it's better to be back to back. But otherwise, I recommend spreading out with the SPGs for many reasons. Not only will he not find you, but when he goes looking for you, you know how to run away from him. SPGs go into town or near town. The SPGs, they don't want to be out in the open, but they need to be near the cap. Plan to go to cap. You want to have a cap strategy at the end of the game. The M44, he should be heading towards the town, not away. Because at AMD, he might be a really kick-ass player like me. He said the A word. So you don't want to be in a situation where there's a minute left. You say, oh, we got to get on the cap. And then you're not on the cap. You want to be at the caps, and it takes you time to get there. And there's a lot of knuckleheads in the game. So you want to head towards the cap. You could play anywhere you want on the map. There's one enemy tank in the game. So find a position where it's easier to get to the cap. And then you can enjoy your Coca-Cola. That's like 2 mastery badges today. 2,600 damage. You know what? So I had a game like 4 games ago where I got a mastery badge, I got the Al Gore medal, and I got high caliber. I got 2,650 damage. I had 500 stun, and I got PO'd because I didn't record it. This one I recorded. And this looks like a better game. And I'm a better person. So I am going to look at my gun marks, which is at 53%. And I wonder if I get another mastery badge. I mean, isn't it supposed to be progressive, a progressive badge or something? Two or more ace tanker. Okay, so I need to get another one before it progresses. Okay, that's the game. If you have any questions or comments, please post below. If you want to platoon with me, log into the game on the NA server, which is North America. Send me a platoon request. Platoon with me right now. 2,700 damage. AMX 13F3AM, 2,700 damage. Siegfried line, an M badge. Good game. Very special. Wow, I have good news. I made a lot of money yesterday. Good news. Sold some seaweed. No, this is not seaweed. It looks like coffee plants with Juan Valdez. Juan Valdez. Yes, I'll tell the Juan Valdez story as soon as the game starts, if I remember. Prep map. Prep map. You know, I don't want to tell the Juan. Okay, I'll tell the Juan Valdez story. Because it's going to be a crappy game anyway. 3, 2, 1. This vehicle is the AMX 13F3AM. This is a French Tier 6 SPG, and the map is Himmelsdorf. And as we know, Himmel means sky, and Dorf means Dorf. Yeah, see how he put the smiley face on the front of his tank? So I am live streaming on YouTube, which means you can platoon with me. I'm a very helpful player. I'm a team player. So I will help you get your gun marks and your mastery badges and the girlfriend and all that stuff. And I am going to tell you the Juan Valdez story. Not that interesting of a story, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Juan Valdez. So you probably know that Juan Valdez represented Colombian Coffee Growers Association or something like that. And Juan used to be an old man. He's a younger man now. And he would appear in television commercials for Colombian coffee and in print ads, and he's got a little logo. So I used to live in Colombia. I lived in Colombia for 8 or 9 years or something. And I actually have a Colombian driver's license too. And coffee is kind of important. It's an important industry in Colombia. And people love coffee. Like if you are in the city, there's people walking around selling coffee. They literally carry like a coffee pot on their back, a large coffee pot that contains large coffee. And they call it tinto. And they walk around and they say, tinto, 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 tinto. And you can buy coffee. And I guess it's really cheap. They give you a really small cup, like an espresso size cup. Espresso. Hey, you like the espresso. And you get the tinto, tinto. And I never did because I don't drink horrible liquids. I'm a purist. I only drink natural products, like a drink that has a natural flavoring, like Coca-Cola. I was aiming for the wall and I missed. That was really dumb. Because I am concerned about my shot hitting my thingy behind me. So there's a town. No, there's a place in Colombia. I guess they call it the coffee growing place. I don't remember what they call it. But it's like a place where everybody grows coffee. And you go down there and you can go to the coffee farms and you can eat a coffee bean right off of the coffee plant, which I did. And of course, they try to sell you coffee. This vehicle doesn't have a large enough burst radius. And I brought my video camera, and there was a guy that looked like Juan Valdez selling coffee, and he had the hat on and the shirt. And they have these little bags that they put the coffee beans in, and they show you how they dry the coffee and they roast them. And they have some sort of a machine. I don't remember if it's a grinder or a peeler, but they got this machine that they put the coffee in. The beans, I mean. And out comes poop. Poop comes out. So as I was saying, I was not going to do a lot of damage in this game. And you get magic coffee. And I just sold that video yesterday of Juan Valdez. Okay, so that's the video. I know it's a crap video. If you don't like it, that's too bad. AMX 13F3AM. We'll call it this, the Juan Valdez story. His name wasn't Juan. I don't remember his name. His name was Juanito. His name is Juanito. I know that the gun marks did not go up. 52.38. The gun marks. So if I'm at 52.38, that means that by morning, I'm going to cry later. So by morning, I should be at, 63% or 62% or something like that. Because, I'm not a hardcore player. I just play for an hour, sleep for an hour, eat for an hour. 6:30. Check Food Panda. Maybe I'll have some food delivered. Stupid websites. There's a McDonald's, but it's on the other side of the police checkpoint, and I don't want to ride through it. I'm not saying that I'm illegally riding my motorcycle around, but I'm saying I just don't want to go through the police checkpoint. I don't want to give them more work than they need. They got police work they got to do. Lockdown Burger. Reading that's the name of a restaurant. There's no McDonald's. What the F? Well, maybe I could go for one of these locale salads. This vehicle is the AMX 13F3AM. This is a French Tier 6 SPG. I think I went too far. I'm going to turn around and go back. And the map is, wow, that swings around quickly. You don't need the clutch braking on this, that's for sure. It swings around really fast. So the M44 is probably, okay, maybe I can play from over here. Obviously, I want to hit tanks that are in this area. Show them some love. Got 25 rounds, 24-second reload. That means that you're going to fire like 13 minutes worth of rounds. So I'm going to just keep on firing. If I don't got a great, amazing shot, I'm just going to fire anyway. And I'll just bitch about it and blame my teammates. Oh, I was talking about McDonald's. So I live in the Philippines, and we are currently during what you could call a stupidity crisis, where all the stupid people, I don't want to say the wrong word, because we don't have free speech over here and there's a lot of guns. Well, let's just say that there's people that are president of the country that are not making intelligent decisions. So we are seriously locked down. I cannot leave my neighborhood without a pass. And I'm only allowed to leave every other day with the pass, and you only get one pass per family. And because I have no family, I only have the one pass for me. So it's really depressing. The neighborhood's not that big. For example, we don't have a lot of services. It used to be to go to the grocery store, we had to go into another neighborhood, but they took part of the blockade down. The roads are blockaded. You can't go down any road you want. And if there's people walking around with sticks, I don't remember what they call them, but they walk around with sticks, and there's gangs of kids that it's not safe. Not safe. There's a gang of kids that sell you. I know the word in English, mapin. No, in Italian it's mapin. They sell you washcloths is the word. I'm not good with every English word. I know you don't believe me. Like when I was a kid, the teacher said something about. She said the word dresser. It's like, what the hell's a dresser? Never heard the word before. What is a dresser? Because my mother calls it a commode. So I didn't know what a clothes dresser was. And the same with washcloth. My mother never called it a washcloth. Never knew what it was. My mother's pretty dumb too. That's another story. So I got a motorcycle, which which is a Rusi motorcycle. And by motorcycle, I mean scooter. You might know that I had a lot of flood damage to my motorcycle. Um, so I had to rebuild the engine. Cost me, it was cheap. It was like $200. They rebuilt everything. The 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 ankle rod and the shaft camber, and they changed the fluid. I don't know. I guess it was the only time they ever changed the fluid. The oil, I think it's called. I don't know what the oil does. I mean, you use oil for cooking, but I guess on the motorcycle they use it for something else. And there's like pistons and cross rod and ball maker, ball something. So I had to rebuild all these things. Apparently, the motorcycle gets damaged when it goes underwater. And it happened too many times because over here they've got typhoons, and it's typhoon season. I believe it's Typhoon Stella right now, September 2020. So the super smart engineers, they put the parking garage under the ground, and what happens is the water, there's like this thing that they call gravity. The water flows under the ground, and then when your motorcycle's parked in the garage, it gets flood damage. And I was driving on a dirt road after I rebuilt my engine, and I saw a small puddle. So this puddle can't be that deep. Well, it was that deep. So I drove through this small puddle, and it ends up it was super deep. And my sneakers got soaking wet, and my legs got all dirty, and the engine stalled. And I had to wait like 15 minutes to start it up again. And now it's not puttering along like a new engine anymore, even though it's only a week old. So that's what happened. And as I was saying earlier, I'm hungry. I want to order food from Food Panda at the Leisure Lodge. And the McDonald's is on the other side of the police checkpoint. But I sort of don't have things such as legal documents for my motorcycle or legal documents authorizing me to ride and operate the motorcycle. So, I don't want to cause any confusion because the police might think that that's illegal or something. And so for that reason, I cannot go to McDonald's. And because I'm in a little tiny neighborhood and there's no food, I don't have any food, so I need to order some food. That's what I was saying. So that was the AMX 13 F3 AM. Obviously, they put the full name over here because they tried to be as complete as possible. And my gun marks, I guess it was around 53% last game. But we're going to get 3 gun marks, no problem. Easy peasy cover girl, right? So that is AMX is it F3 AM? AMX F3 F sharp F3 AM. Motorcycle flooding. I don't think that's the name of the SPG. 13 F3. That's SPG. So I'm going to order some food real quick. Order some food. Oh, I was looking at these salads. Paella, chow fan, California mango crab. Yeah, mango's popular. Grilled chicken Caesar salad. Actually looks pretty good. Chicken apple peach salad. Probably got mango in it. Beef taco salad. Oh, that sounds good. Taco. Grilled chicken teriyaki wrap. Breakfast longanisa wrap. Freshly squeezed lemonade. I'm going to go for the grilled chicken teriyaki wrap. Man, look at that price. And I need to check the old wallet. Oh, no, I'm going to check the old wallet. Because if you pay over the internet and they don't deliver, then you cry. I am going to have to order, let's see, over the internet. Pay over the internet. Because I do not have sufficient funds. Okay. Go to checkout. I just got to check. Oh, there's an emissions testing right near me. Cool. I have the feeling this is way the wrong address. This looks crazy wrong. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong here. I don't recognize anything. This fucking map. It's so small. Get this huge browser and they make the map tiny. Oh, just so you know, I live in Sandbag. Now you know. Sandbag. Better deliver this shit. I'm pissed if they don't. Garbage. Yeah, they don't. I'm on a road that has no name. It's a no-name road, so that makes it difficult. Fucking piece of garbage. Okay, I'm gonna cross my fingers. Hope for the best. I'm gonna see if it'll let me make one more job. F this piece of garbage. Piece of fucking garbage. Won't let me pick the name of the lodge. Okay, see how much money I'm going to blow. $6. Okay, so I'll be complaining later that this guy ripped me off. I can predict the future. Look at this email I got from eHarmony. Do you really know yourself? Nope. Locale salad plus wraps. Oh, actually, you know where this place is. Okay, so I just started a new game. This vehicle is the AMX 13F3AM. This is a French tier 6, no, 6, 1, 2, 3, 96, 6, I don't know. This is a French tier 6 SPG. The map is Mountain Pass. So notice that I'm playing a different position. You obviously watch all of my games. This position I actually found works out well. You can hit over here, over here, over here along the bridge. You see my team is really smart. They know to take up positions on the bridge. And you can hit up over here around the base. So this is the power position. So I'm a power player. I'm an unicum. But you're in a game with 30 people. I got 2 mastery badges today in this vehicle. 2,700 damage games. That's how good I am. I said, dommage, dommage, dommage. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to tell you the French story. You can hear the French story. So obviously I studied French in grades 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, plus, like 2, 3 years of college. So I've got like 8 years of French study. So I've never been to France, but I have been to Canada, and I went to Canada probably around 1980 to go visit some relatives, some paisans, as we say, who settled in the wrong country. And we must have been in Montreal, or as they say, Montreal, and which means probably Royal Mountain. I believe it means Royal Mountain. And my father stopped to buy gas, and back then, you usually had to like prepay, and you're not filling up the tank. What you're usually doing is you're putting $10 down or $20 down, or in the case of my brother, 50 cents down. I'm not joking. That's absolutely 100% true. My brother used to go to the bank to withdraw $1 to buy $1 worth of gas. He literally did that. He had tons of $1 withdrawals. And my father was the one who told me about this. And I know my brother. He definitely did this. And I think my brother also told me that he had to do that. And the funny part is my father was doing the same stupid thing. He was making $10 withdrawals from the ATM at the casino, which, charges you a really good rate on your ATM withdrawals. So he gave me $10, and he said, "Go in and pay for the gas." He said, "Hey, go in and pay for the gas." He always said something like that. was very laid back. And he said, "Oh, Papa, if you want me to go pay for the gas, I will go pay for the gas. No problemo." So he gave me the $10, and I went in, and there was like a French guy or a Montrealan guy. They're actually called Montrealans. And he said, "10 dolores," or something. "10 dollar. Hey, 10 dollar." No, he probably said, "Oh, 10 dollar." And then my many years of French, I said, "Merci." And I gave him the 10 dollars. And then I left. And that was the only time in my life I ever spoke French. One word total. And I don't even know if I used the correct word. Drive up the mountain. Victory climb. I love Canada. I wish I had lived and grown up in Canada. But, you can't have everything you want. Unfortunately, we can only live there for 6 months. But otherwise, I'd be in Canada. Who wants to live in the fucking Philippines? Where there's not enough garbage everywhere. Hey, you got a problem with the garbage. Just throw it over there. They just throw garbage everywhere. There's piles of garbage on the street. It's like Baltimore. 1,200 damage is pretty good. 1,200 damage. So, I keep a record. That was the AMX 13 F3AM, and I did 1,200 damage. That was Mountain Pass. Mountain Pass is a great map for racing. Ah, you like the race. Oh, went up to 54. That's pretty good. So my prediction is I'm going to be like 62 or 63 by the morning. Because, I'm not crazy about the game. Not addicted to it. I do have dreams about it at night. So in the morning, I will finish off getting the mark on the shaft. Gun mark. Okay, so I'm about to get into a game. But I had an idea for something that's better than a mastery badge, and it's called the Unicum badge for any player who's a top player. How about some criteria for a player to earn an Unicum badge? For example, top 1% of players for M badges earned, or 3 marks, or total marks, 1 plus 2 plus 3, each weighted at their value or earning object 279E, etc. Unicum badge would be highly received by players. Winning ranked battles, etc. Have many ways to earn an Unicum badge. As a decal, they can put it on any tank. Some people mispronounce it. They say unicum or unicum, but obviously that's a mispronunciation. My food's going to come. Did I start a game? Did I start a game? I did start a game. So I did something really dumb. I started a game while I'm waiting for food delivery. So that means I have to do something else amazing, which is going to be getting dressed, because I actually do play naked. I know you don't believe me. No, there's no way he plays naked. We're in the fucking Philippines. It's 100 degrees outside. And I don't use air conditioning. That's why there's no video. Otherwise, I'd have the video on. Okay, so the food is estimated to be here in 7 minutes, so I'll try to die quickly. I think this is the place where I like to park. I screwed it up because we knocked the wall down. What you can do is knock this wall down and park here with a wall in front of you. I am behind the wall. You can see my team is doing an excellent job taking the field. The Newberts. Come on. Hey, come on. Come on, Eileen. Wow, we got a gaggle of unicums. Got to come up with a term. I'm inspired because I heard a great term for a group of people that I cannot say because they tend to be crybabies and they hate everybody. If you know about we call them the rainbow people, and rainbow people doesn't mean what someone might have thought that it meant a while ago. Rainbow people just means any person who is a little bit crazy in their thinking. The people who regulate other people's lives, those are the rainbow people. Not talking about people who have certain activities that they engage in. Okay, so sad to say, got a bunch of noobs on my team. You know what? I really should have gone the other way. Okay, so I'm going to go out and wait for my salad and my wrap. Yeah, he's lost. He should have been here by now. This tank is the AMX 13105. This is a French Tier 10 light tank. The map is Malinovka, and this is a ranked battle. So ranked battles in Division 3, spotting was really easy. I got tons of spotting damage. You do have to learn. You can't be aggressive. If you watch my random battle spotting, I cannot play like that in ranked battles because the other spotters are really good in ranked battles. So what I had to do was I had to predict what the other spotters were going to do, and I had to come up with a counter plan, which ended up working. I think I'm going to fail in this position. I really don't remember. I think this is the game. This was my last game in Division 3 before I moved up to Division 2. And it was my last spotting game because spotting really was ineffective in Division 2.
What's interesting about this game is that the game before it I lost, and when you lose a chevron. But what happened was I believe this game went by very quickly, and I won and won a chevron, moved into the next division, and then lost the game that I had started before this, which would have kept me from advancing. That's why, okay, I discovered a bug in the game, and that explains why the game had a bug. I'm going to have to post this in the forums. So that explains why I wasn't credited properly my chevrons when I was in second division in my first game. So you can see that I'm moving into active spotting. I got 1,500 spotting damage. One of the enemy light tanks is out of the game. The EBR is still in the game. I do have to watch out for it. In ranked battles, if the EBR knows where you are, they're going to come looking for you. So if you get spotted, you have to reposition. It's not like random battles where you got a lot of time. In ranked battles, the scouts are a lot better. They're not as good as I am, but they're a lot better than random battles. This is probably not a position where I'm going to get a lot of spotting damage. I'm probably going to have to reposition at some point. Basically, what you do is you look at the map and you say, where's there gaps in the coverage where there could be potential enemy tanks, and who's already within my circle. You can see there's a lot of enemy tanks within my circle right now. So the position's really not that bad. So now I'm going to have to play without a driver, but what you're noticing is that a lot of the enemy tanks are up on the hill. They're going to go down the hill, and that's where I'm going to pull through and get a lot of spotting damage without a driver. I am a good spotter, so I know the best place to spot for them to come down the hill. And I know that they know the best place to spot, so I'm not going to spot in the best place to spot. I'm going to spot from somewhere else. So that's an example of how you outsmart them. Nobody would spot from this position. It's not a good spotting position for the hill. But because I'm going to be here, they're never going to figure out that I'm here. They're going to randomly fire in these bushes over here, and they're not going to hit me. So I'm not going to get the best amount of spotting damage. For example, this is not the best place to spot. So what's going to happen is that tank can become unspotted behind that bush, and I won't be able to know. We're going to have tanks that I'm not going to spot. But this is going to, like I said, it's probably going to pull us through to win the game. That Progetto is probably not going to make it. It is a little scary, but my team is going to pull through. The E100 is probably not going to make it. You see that there's an Object 140, but there's probably other tanks up there. And you know, it's good that I can't spot them, because then they think that there's no spotter. And if they think there's no spotter, they come down the hill. And then they overextend themselves, and then they can't retreat. So you can see I'm looking in case if he spots me, I'm going to fire and kill him. So I'm up to 2,700 spotting damage. It looks like I know that this spotting position is not very good. I'm not going to knock any trees down because I know these guys are good players. You don't want to knock the trees down if you're in this position. In a random battle, I would knock the trees down. And you don't want to sit in the bush. The enemy knows that you're going to spot from that bush, so don't sit in it. I might be too far close to that bush right now. It's possible that we might see some blind firing come in later in the game. I'm not sure. I'm up to 3,600 spotting damage. Score is 4-2. It's funny, you're playing this game and it looks like he's aiming his gun in your direction. If an enemy blind fires in your area, the best thing to do is reposition. Or obviously align yourself so you think he's not going to be able to blind fire you. So you see that there's an Object 104, 140, and the Progetto is still in the game. He's got a lot less hit points. But they're able to get a little bit closer. He's out of the game now. I got 280. I didn't get any spotting damage on the Progetto. But you can see we're bunched up in the corner here. The enemy is failing to swing around because we got good defense. They should really come up through the middle. That's beautiful. I love the fact that I can spot him right there, and he doesn't know that he's spotted. If he knew he were spotted, he wouldn't sit there. So you can see that I'm reversing so I can snipe at him. Unfortunately, I got spotted. And with the fact that my driver, you see the Object 277 spotted me because I didn't know he was up there. I have really good spotting range. It's really maxed out on this tank. You probably can't get any better with this tank with all the directives and equipment, improved equipment, etc. However, you know what? My camo might not be as good, but my spotting is really good. My camo is pretty good, but I might have one crew member at like 83% for camo, because you want to prioritize spotting over camo on these tanks, which is why I do not use a camouflage net unless I'm sniping. Score 7-4. I'm up to 5,300. I believe I am going to get 6,400 damage in this game, which is going to earn me 2 chevrons. And I'm out of the game. Okay, so that's the game. I did really well. I'm sure that my team is going to do fine without me. We really held the enemy back. If you have any questions or comments, post below.
This vehicle is the T92 HMC. This is an American Tier 10 SPG, and the map is Tundra. This is also a ranked battle. You can see that I am in Division 3. I've been in Division 3 for about an hour, and I played a couple games. I should do fine. I am stuck in my house because of the cooties going around, and the people who decide if we go out or not said we can't go out or we get arrested. And then the people who censor what you say on the internet won't let me say what I want to say. So sorry about the weird microphone. I'm trying to get it to be good, and I really don't know if it's software or hardware. I got to do some testing, but it doesn't matter because we're not allowed to leave anyway in my city. And the police checkpoint is right outside of my house, and the stores are closed anyway, so it would not matter. But that is life here in the Philippines. Count me among the living. So that's 645 damage on the 430U and 398 damage on the Super Conqueror. I'm already up to 1,500 damage. This is a really good start in this game. I believe that I am on the 3rd shield. I want to aim as quickly as possible. Luckily, the enemy is not advancing. They're not playing that bright. They don't have their thinking hats on. So I'm going for the double shot. There was a vehicle I could have taken out of the game with an amazing shot, but I decided to go for the double shot, which is a personal thing. It's about ranking up. It's about padding the stats a little. Got 1,800 damage, 500 stun damage. The score is 1-4. I'm not worried that much. We can make a comeback. Definitely done it before. The score is 2-4. These guys on the west, they gotta really advance fast. It says I stunned 2. I guess I didn't do any damage. That sucks. We're gonna have to head south real fast.
that 60 TP. Look at that amazing stamina. His name is Stam. Okay, so obviously I'm going to head south. The T92 should go south. T92 goes south. I'm probably going to have to go through the town so I can fire. It scores 7-8, so we're really not that bad. They're going to be on us real fast. T92 is not heading south, which is really not cool. Score is 8-8, and there it is. Come on, come on. Yeah. Got up to 2100 damage. The score is 8-9. I'm going to wait this one out, see what happens. 9-9. But they do have one extra tank. And because we've got the SPG, better reset that cap. Now looks like he did not. And he's out of the game. Scores 9-10. Very tense. No, 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 get the guy on the bridge. Come on, go for the guy on the bridge. He could take both of those vehicles out, but it doesn't look like he's actively pursuing that. It looks like he tried to track that vehicle. Oh, he did. He took them both out. Scores 12-1. Really don't think that was necessary. He didn't have to do it that way, but there's some people who do play that way. You know, obviously I'm not exactly sure if he did a tracking shot with no damage. It depends on whether you hit the front or the rear. And you notice that, like, in the front there's no sprockets, and in the rear there's sprockets on his particular vehicle. So the drivetrain is obviously going to be where the sprockets are, right? And the one that doesn't have the sprockets, which is in the front, is not hooked up to the drivetrain. So that's one of the things about vehicles that a lot of people aren't really aware of. But you know, all the Onicums know. He's got 5 kills and he's qualifying. He's definitely going to qualify with this game. Let's see, take out this Progetto. It's got to be, I don't know where you get these tanks. It's got to be like a reward tank or something. Connor O'Faretto. Connor is a very Italian name. Connor. When I was younger, the neighbor's kid was named Colin, and you know, my father called him Colin. Say, go get the neighbor kid, the Colin, he would say. Okay, so I obviously got cheated. Got up to the 4th shield, which is really good. 250 bonds, that's really good. These guys were all cheaters. Okay, that was 2,700 damage. That was really good. I'm an amazing player. This is the Object 261. This is a Russian Tier 10 SPG. The map is Steppes. I'm working on getting my gun marks. I'm at 61.6% or something like that. I'm going to have it in like 2 or 3 more games as long as I don't have a city map. And I'm going to be doing the gun marks first for all of my SPGs, and then I'm going to do tank destroyers. Oh, look at that. Oh, he's out of the game. Poor Udis. So after I do tank destroyers, I'll probably do light tanks, and then maybe I'll do heavy tanks. I really like playing super heavy tanks, so I'll do the super heavy tanks, and then I'll probably do the medium tanks last. You know, that was holy wow. This tank is the AMX 13105. This is a French Tier 10 light tank. The map is Malinovka, and this is a ranked battle. So ranked battles in Division 3, spotting was really easy. I got tons of spotting damage. You do have to learn. You can't be aggressive. If you watch my random battle spotting, I cannot play like that in ranked battles because the other spotters are really good in ranked battles. So what I had to do was I had to predict what the other spotters were going to do, and I had to come up with a counter plan, which ended up working. I think I'm going to fail in this position. I really don't remember. I think this is the game. This was my last game in Division 3 before I moved up to Division 2. And it was my last spotting game because spotting really was ineffective in Division 2. What's interesting about this game is that the game before it I lost, and when you lose a chevron. But what happened was I believe this game went by very quickly, and I won a chevron, moved into the next division, and then lost the game that I had started before this, which would have kept me from advancing. That's why, okay, I discovered a bug in the game, and that explains why the game had a bug. I'm going to have to post this in the forums. So that explains why I wasn't credited properly my chevrons when I was in second division in my first game. So you can see that I'm moving into active spotting. I got 1,500 spotting damage. One of the enemy light tanks is out of the game. The EBR is still in the game. I do have to watch out for it. In ranked battles, if the
Oh, I just ripped my pants. It's all I fucking need. Fucking. I don't need to rip the pants more. This is chroma key, color key type, custom, select color. Am I missing something here? My camera shut off? The camera shut off. Oh, don't tell me I effed it up. Looking good. Custom green. Damn it. Oh, F it, man. My numbers went down. Ain't cool. Oh, F this. I got food. Oh, fuck this shit. Which I'm going to eat. Food under the mouse pad. Oh, no. Nope. Nope. No way. No way. That's my grandmother. Hey, you know, like, I'm gonna cook something for you. Hey, dear, here. Hey, hey, dear, here. Hey, dear. Hey, dear, here. 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 This vehicle is the AMX13F3AM. This is a French Tier 6 SPG, and the map is Sand River. So, as you know, SPG stands for Super Gun. Back in World War II, they used to say, hey, we want to use it as a super gun. Look at that ping time, 350. I'm going to knock... Come on, don't do this. If you see it jumping around, you must be seeing it jumping around because it's jumping around. That's what's going on. That's SPG, typical SPG gameplay. So you can see he's in this SPG safe position. I usually play in the location that I'm in right now on this map. You know what? There's too many problems. This is going to be a horrible game. Everything's jumping around so much. Look at the red and the high ping time. This is going to hurt. Yeah, I'm going to have trouble getting these gun marks because of the bad internet connection. So I got kicked out of my apartment because I robbed somebody of his enjoyment of owning the apartment. So my landlord sold the apartment. So he said, hey, you got to leave on Friday. And this was like a Tuesday. He gave me like 3 days notice. Yeah, see how it's jumping around? Do you see how it's jumping around? There's a lot of vehicles coming this way. That doesn't make me happy. You see over here, you got all these tanks. So I am going to move my Unicum vehicle to a better location where the grass is greener. I wanted to tell a story about grass. So you're going to hear a grass story. So basically, I went to Jamaica. You can see where this is going. Around 25 years ago, 20 years ago, I went to Jamaica. And I went with some friends, including my friend Klaus. Klaus is a German man. He actually went back to Germany. He lives in Germany now. And he met his wife. I don't know if I should use the term wife, because it's kind of different nowadays. He met his girlfriend, the mother of his child. That's what I should say. He met the mother of his child on the trip to Jamaica. I obviously met her. I didn't know her until that trip. I guess there were like 15 of us that went, and I really don't remember everybody that went. So, my college roommate went, which is always a lot of fun, and a woman named Debbie. Debbie is the one we're going to talk about. She's going to be the grass story. So what happened was, F this, come on. I will run away. So what happened is, we had to leave Jamaica. We weren't going to stay there forever. Oh, did he kill? No. So when we left Jamaica, we had to go through immigration and customs. It was very small, and when you leave Jamaica, they don't care if you bring drugs into the country, but they do care if you bring drugs out of the country. And it's not like they're anti-drug. They're just doing it to charge you a fine. So what they want to do is they want to catch you when you leave, and then they want to charge you a fine for illegally transporting a controlled substance. So they call it ganja. And I know you can say, oh, that's just a No, it's not a stereotype. When you go to Jamaica, you will meet people who will say, would you like some ganja? It's not like it wasn't difficult for someone to offer it. I am ready to fire. I have to use the auto aim because I have horrible packet loss. A horrible game. It did 51 damage. So when we were going through, I'm not worried about anything because I don't do drugs. I've never smoked a drug ever in my life. I'm very against drugs. I don't care if other people do it, but I do give a shit if other people plant it on my body. So what happened was we were going through the security, and I went through before Debbie. Debbie went through after me. And Debbie does drugs, such as marijuana. So what happened was, after I went through, she gave me this hug after she went through. Oh, I should say that when you go through, you see all the soldiers there with their dogs, their canines, which happens to be a tank in World of Tanks. So you see all the soldiers, and they got all the dogs lined up, and I go through, and I was wearing a hooded sweatshirt. You can see where this is going, can't you? And I was going through, and after I went through, Debbie went through. She didn't seem like she was very happy. She seemed like she was under stress. After Debbie went through, she hugged me for a very long time. And Debbie's the type of woman that when you meet her, you think, yeah, this woman could be on drugs. I see that. So she gave me this really long hug. I'm wondering why. Why did she give me... Oh, she was also crying. So that was the key. The crying part was the key. She was under a lot of stress going through. And I thought to myself, okay, obviously... Oh, this is what happened. My roommate, Chris, does drugs. No, he wasn't my roommate at the time. He was my college roommate. He told me he does drugs with Debbie. And I believe what happened was after the trip, he had said something to me like, oh, yeah, we went and we smoked some putang, or whatever they call it. And he said he smoked it with Debbie. So, Debbie and I, we went and we smoked this herbicide. So he mentioned something about Jamaica, and we had just gotten back from Jamaica. Or maybe I'm lying, I don't know. And I started thinking, so you're saying Debbie bought the drugs in Jamaica? And of course, this is true. Probably because it's really cheap or something. And then I thought, it was a little bit odd that Debbie was crying and she gives me this weird hug for a long time. Like nobody ever hugged me that long, not even my mother. My mother hugged me twice in my life. My mother's a horrible woman. Hey, she's a horrible woman. Hey, she no love her children. How do you say child in Italian? Filio, I think it is. She no like the filio. I think it's filio. I don't know. I don't remember. Because I more remember the Spanish from living in South America. So, he's probably coming around this way, right? So, I was like, Debbie must have put the drugs on me. And I said my pockets were wide open. Maybe she put it in the back of my hood, which would have been easy for her to do. But she totally did it. She totally did it. F that. So that's what happens when you got the high ping time. That's an example. Right at that moment, my game locked up and I couldn't defend myself. But you have a low win rate. You suck. You're a sucky player. No matter how many times you tell them that the ping time and the latency ruins your game, they don't care. There's so many people that hate me because of my win rate. It's offensive how bad the problem is. It's been a year and a half since they started this nonsense, and they still harass me. There's people who still harass me in the forums. The reason why we have the anonymizer in the game is because of me. I sent a damning letter to Wargaming. I'm going to give you the polite version. I said I am sick and tired of this fucking shit. I'm tired of games where everybody says you're the fucking loser player or whatever they say. You know, you're a 49% win rate. Anytime I post in the forums, you're the guy with the 49% win rate. Every conversation, I'd say, "Oh, Merry Christmas." "Oh, you're the guy. Merry Christmas from the guy with the 49% win rate." You know, I got sick and tired of it, and I wrote a letter to Wargaming, and I said, "Seriously, you got to do something about this. I'm sick of this. It's been over a year." At that point, it was around a year. I said, "It's been like a year. Your moderators don't care because they believe in the win rate philosophy, that high win rate means good player." And then they added the anonymizer in like one of the next updates, and I was like, "Yeah, thank God." And I know that Quickie Baby had something that he apologized for. I don't remember what it was, but I don't understand why he apologized about the anonymizer. I mean, the only people that care are the people who use XVM, and not that many people use it, like less than 10% of players. And it's like, why does somebody have to hate another player because you don't know what their stats are while you're playing the game? That's no reason to hate a player. Or even if it's somebody like Quickie Baby, right? I don't know what, again, I don't remember what his controversy was because, you know, I don't have the brain focus I used to have thanks to the internet. You know, I just passively listen and criticize and jump and prejudge people. It's very common here in the Philippines. You said Filipinos are cold-hearted. Does that mean you think I'm not warm-hearted? No, that's not what I meant. I wasn't referring to you. I was referring to people that I had met. Did you mean that you think I'm not warm-hearted? I do not think that you're not warm-hearted. You think I'm not warm-hearted? It's like, do you fucking listen? They got a serious problem with attention span here in the Philippines. Serious problem. I should go reread what she said because it's a long, funny story. I started sending her cold-hearted emojis. Oh, she got really pissed when I did that. Okay, that's a shitty game. AMX 13F3. AM. Ganja. I gotta look up how to spell ganja. It says marijuana. 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 Hey man, you like the ganja? No man. Oh, I got a funny Jamaica story. Jamaican me happy. Jamaica. 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 Jamaica, as they say in Spanish. Jamaica. Jamaican me happy. Jamaica. So I'm going to tell the Jamaica story next, which means I'm not telling the other story, which I forgot. The Jamaica story. This vehicle is the AMX 13F3AM SPG. This is a French Tier 6 SPG, and the map is Runberg. They actually had another map called Winterberg, which was the winterized version of this map, which was removed from the game, probably when they did the HD rework. And the graphics do look better. If you watch my classic game series, you can see what the graphics used to look like. It's called like classic games, or the domination games. You like it to dominate. Okay, so I'm going to tell a story about my trip to Jamaica. I have so many stories about the trip to Jamaica. So when we got to Jamaica, we arrived, it was just like 15 of us. I knew like 13 out of the 15 people. And the first thing that you do is you get out of like the tourist van, the shuttle van that brings you from the airport. They actually do have airports in Jamaica. And we were in Kingston. I believe it was Kingston. And the question always comes up, why is the hotel so cheap? It's because you're in Kingston. That's the reason why. It's because you're in the crappiest part of Jamaica. Why does Jamaica look like such a wonderful place? So we get out of the van, and the guy at the hotel, the first thing he started doing was pretending that he knew one of the guys on the trip. So he was just goofing around, saying, "Hey, boss, good to see you again." You know, he's talking like he knows the guy. And, oh, good to see you come back to Jamaica. You smoke with the ganja. So the guy had no idea who he was. You know, they didn't really know each other. He was just goofing around. And they screwed up our room assignments. What they did was they just kind of randomly, we had 2 people per room, and they just kind of randomly assigned us rooms. The people at the hotel did. So, like, all the men were randomly assigned to different women. And they needed I don't know why they needed to work it out. I mean, you just go in and find somebody who you want a room with and go room with them, right? So they changed the room assignment so that I was with my roommate from college, which we will call Dick's asswipe. I'll come up with a good nickname for him. The Dickster. The Beehole. So, as soon as I heard, oh yeah, you're going to be rooming with Chris, I was like, fuck. Effing asshole. And guess what happened okay, I'm advancing a little bit too much. The first thing that happened was one of the girls, I don't remember her name. Maybe eventually I remember her name. She said, I want to go in the water. And I happened to have a glass of water. No, she said she wanted to go in the water. And they said, where's the beach? They pointed that way. We literally had our luggage. I had mine balancing on my head. And she ran straight for the beach. That effing a-hole got right in line with my shot. So she ran down the beach, still had the luggage, still had her clothes on, went right in the water. 10 seconds later, she's crying like a baby. And she's got like her hand on her butt. No, on her knee. It wasn't on her knee. It was either on her thigh or on her lower leg. I don't remember. And of course, we all started laughing at her. So what happened was she got stung by a jellyfish immediately upon arrival at Jamaica. And of course, everyone starts saying, that's really painful. They're saying the worst thing you possibly. That's really painful. You're not going to enjoy this, And she was crying, and apparently it puts like 50 needles in you. Nobody used any sort of bodily liquids to soothe the pain or anything. But she cried the whole time, and the whole trip nobody went in the water after that. But there was a swimming pool, but that will be another story. Okay, so that was the AMX 13 F3 PM. No, this is the AM, not the PM. Why am I looking at this? 800 damage, not bad. AMX 13 F3 AMX 13 F3 AM, and that was Ruinberg, and this is the jellyfish. No, I shouldn't call it the jellyfish because then people will know immediately upon watching it. I should call it Jamaican Me Hurt. Okay, we'll do Jamaican Me Hurt. Sounds amazing. I know I come up with amazing names. Okay, AMX 13. Man, having trouble leveling up right now. Going through a little bit of a slow patch right here. I'm sure that the reason why is because of map choice in part, and because of the issues with the internet connection, and because my fucking hand hurts. Fuck this shit. I want to eat these fucking candy bars. Man, I thought I wasn't going to make any money this week. I'm not talking about YouTube stuff. I'm talking about my normal business. And end of the month is picking up. Wow. So I'll tell this story. It's a cop story. And it involves Budweiser beer. And a rainbow. You know, rainbow. Very pretty rainbow. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, Budweiser. The Budweiser truck accident. Yo, Cheapy, can you shout out my buddy Marnik on YT? He's a legend just like you. And then it shows a pair of boobies. Yeah, sure, sample name. This is a shout out to Marnik and his boobies. Legendary boobies, I guess it means. There you go, sample name. Your wish is my command. And you notice I do it as quickly as possible. My laptop is hot. I have to fix my lighting source. Yeah, you fix it, light. It smells like my laptop is burning. Burn? Burn. Wow, it's so fucking hot. Okay, this is the AMX13F3AM. This is a French Tier 6 SPG. The map is... Oh, come on. Why does this fucking shit have to happen? Something fell down. My aluminum screen fell. So there you have it. Now you know what pisses me off. So I usually park kind of in this area. And the reason why is because you should have nice shots over here. You see what I'm talking about? Hey, you see what I'm talking about. You can see we have an amazing group of spotters. Look at that amazing job they're doing. Spotted that tree. It looks like a tree fell down right here. So I'm going to keep an eye on these trees. I'm going to do what they call self-spotting. Self-spot. Leo. Okay, you get 25 rounds, 25-second reload, which means it's going to take you like 12 minutes to unload your load. So I'm just going to keep on firing. If I see a target, I fire, even if it's going to be a wild shot. I'm going to reposition to the road. I forgot about repositioning to the road, and I just remembered it. Okay, so you see that there's a road over here, and there are some buildings. I want to be able to hit on either side of the road. So what I'm going to do is probably line up with these buildings. You see how that green line is becoming flatter and flatter? Just like I don't want to say it. Big brother might complain. Bad enough I use bad words. Oh, come on. So I can get closer. I'm going to use this white circle over here to get a little bit closer. It is risky. I am a risk taker. Oh, I was going to tell the Budweiser story. This Bud's for you. He's probably still here. Remember I said I'm going to keep on firing? There you go. There you go. It's for your mother. So here's the story. For some reason, I was driving north of the city of Binghamton on Route 81, and a lot of you know Route 81 because Route 81 goes from Florida up to probably Canada. Canada. And it was raining. It was precipitating when I was going through Binghamton. You probably are familiar with Bear Mountain, you know the Bear Mountain route and the Delaware Water Gap route. Bear Mountain is more fun. Delaware Water Gap has better food, and it might be a little faster. So I get to Binghamton, which is such an amazing city. Wow, don't you want to move to Binghamton? Just mentioning it. You can go see E.A. Link, who used to live in Binghamton. He created the flight simulator, and he also invented the airport. So I was north of Binghamton, heading up towards Syracuse. And I happened to look in my rearview mirror, and I saw a beautiful rainbow. And I said, this rainbow is beautiful. How do you sneak through without that guy? You know what? Maybe I should wait till he dies. Or maybe I could kill him. Okay, he's dead. So now I'm going to just go backwards. Not spotted. They cannot do anything about this. Oh, yeah. Hey, missed. What are you going to do, buddy? What are you going to do? What are your friends going to do is the question. I would like to go spot, but I think in this case, I'm going to pass. This numbnuts over here. You're name-shaming me. Yep, you're right. Epic Pantyhose. So Epic Pantyhose is, as you can see, not fulfilling his promise. Actually, you did a good job, Panty. I just call him Panty. Up your nose with a rubber hose. You can see he hightailed it out of here real fast. I'm going to do some zigzagging. Oh, look at that. Look at that. They're capturing the friendly base. Oh, no, they're not. So I saw this beautiful rainbow, and I prayed. I said a little prayer. You suck, buddy. So I saw a rainbow in the rearview mirror, and I said, oh, I'm going to take a video. I got my video camera out, and I took a video of the rainbow. And a tractor trailer was coming down the road. He cheated. So a tractor trailer was coming down the road. It was a Budweiser truck. And I filmed like a car coming, and then I filmed a tractor trailer. Beautiful rainbow, and it wasn't raining where I was. And the rainbow in the video, it covers like 20% or 25% of the video. And I saw the tractor trailer, and I grabbed a shot of it, and then a police officer showed up. And he got out his baton, and he said, get on your knees. And he unzipped his... No. What happened was he just pulled up. I saw him coming. And because, you see the police lights on top. He's always coming. I better pack up. And I started packing up the tripod and the camera, and I rushed into the car, and he pulled up right as I got in the car. And you have to sit there because otherwise they'll beat you. And he said, do you have a problem? And he went, you got a problem? You got a problem? And I said, no, I'm fine. He said, okay. And then he left, but he also took the first turn. So I knew that he'd come back again, so I left. That's the story. And I just sold that video yesterday for a decent sum of money. In fact, I sold it twice this week. Very happy. AMX 13. AMX 13 F3 AM. 900 damage. Live oaks. And this was rainbow truck. I'll do rainbow bud. Now, I am amazing. Let's see if my gun marks advance. Oh, I was correct. I got 20 bonds. They changed the bond system, and you see I'm using the bonded equipment. I'm planning on demounting. It costs 200 bonds to demount. This is not advancing on the gun marks. I'm going to wait until there's more people on the server, maybe. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe the problem's you. I don't know. Maybe I need more people on the server. I'm going to do something stupid. I'm going to play one more game. There's not enough people on the servers, so because there's not enough people on the server, the gameplay sucks big time. Okay, this is the AMX 13 F3 AM. This is a French Tier 6 SPG, and the map is Westfield. So I just made a post in the forums about map racing. So what people do sometimes is they do races on the map. Mountain Pass is a great map for racing. And they'll do it with like a T1 Cunningham because a long time ago it was one of the faster tanks in the game, or the fastest, or the prettiest, I don't remember. And what you do is you just get in and you get everybody racing except for maybe one player who or you get some observers. And Mountain Pass is good because it's very easy to just follow the path and nobody shoots at anybody. You just run around and you race. And there's videos of it on YouTube. But the problem is, how do you get 30 people in the training room to do this? I don't have the resources to do it. And the people that do don't do it. So I made a post in the forums. I said, why don't you make a racing map? You take an existing map like Mountain Pass, and then you block off the route so that people have to go a certain way around the map. And then anybody can go in and pick the racing map, let's say for Mountain Pass, and then do a little race. And you don't have to do it with 30 people. You could do it with 2 people, minimum 2 people. I'm going to read the chat for you. Stupid Hellcat. Or as I say, Heckcat. Heckity. Heckkitty. Thank you for cheating. Miss Click, says the STRV, which was a very important message. Somebody posted a gag. I can't say this. Someone posted a gag in the forum. So I told you about my race map idea where they could spend a short amount of time making the map for us. And somebody responded, well, too bad Wargaming is going out of business because they just arrested Victor. He's the head of a cult. And he linked to some story about some guy being arrested for being a cult leader. But it wasn't Victor. It was some other guy. It just shows you the dumb stuff people post in the forums, which is why you get all the intelligent conversation in the forums. Almost all of my forum posts are suggestions, ideas, bug fixes, giving advice to people like stop being stupid. I'm a very helpful person, but other people are like, you're dumb. You're the guy with the 49% win rate. You're the guy who thinks that coronavirus is like the flu. Oh, man, I'm going to get banned from YouTube. You're the guy who, you're the guy. Just shut up. The Brain Trust. Yeah, so they have lousy moderators. The moderators don't do a good job in the forums. I have been using the internet since the 80s. And I've been on so many chat forums and groups, they used to call it Usenet back in the late 80s. And I had like a 300 baud modem. And when you allow people to harass other people, all the nice people leave and your forum gets filled with people who just harass other people. And then it's just all, I hate you. Anytime you post anything, you're going to get a response saying, I hate you. And then someone else saying, yeah, good response that you hate him. That's all it is. And that's what the forums become. And like I said, you lose the intelligent conversation. Watt Labs is an example. They have a World of Tank forum. You go post anything, it's, you are a dick. I posted my sniping position videos, which are very popular. And the guy responds saying, why don't you go on YouTube and watch some videos from some Unicums because you don't know how to play. You have a 49% win rate. He said something stupid like that. My positions are really good. And I know that, in fact, not only are they good, but what happens is I will learn a position and I'll make a video about it. And then a year later, I'll see somebody like Quickie Baby and Des Games playing the position on their channel. And I was like, you know what? If you had been watching my channel, you would have been playing it a year ago. And a lot of times I'll find a position, and then somebody like Des Games says, oh, here's a great game. It was like Fosh on Swamp. Watch this game. And I was like, man, if you watch my channel, you would have already seen me playing that same tank and that position with multiple guys under me. Oh, F you. F you. Double F you. See, the Super Hellcat is doing a great job spotting targets. Yeah, so there's so many things in the game that I discover, and then it takes at least a year before I see it on a popular YouTube streamer's channel. Because, you know, I do it and I play it in the game and people see me playing it, and then they start playing it, and then it spreads, and it spreads on the NA server. So when you go to the EU server, nobody knows the position, you know what I mean? Suck, loser. I think the SPG's over here. Is he an autoloader? I don't know. I don't know. Pretty good, 1,000 damage. And he had nice gun marks. Yes, so Watt Forum, they were the ones that started all the hatred against me. Because some a-hole posted this nonsense. Watch from uncomplain. And then thousands of people, thousands of posts on my YouTube channels about how they hate me. And that's it. My most popular videos are about stat padding. I've got I've figured out how to stat pad gun marks, of course. And the top, you know, I'm just going to say it. People like Skill for LTU, they do take advantage of aspects of the game that allows them to get 3 marks easily. For example, if he will say something like, oh, this tank just came out today, I'm going to get the 3 mark on it today. Of course you are, because nobody's been playing it, and you get amazing ratios, and you get the 3 mark easily. Anybody could do it. With my IS-2 shielded, you know what tank I'm talking about? I got up to 77%. Stopped playing it for a while, and then like a week ago, I said, "Oh, I need to play this tank to get the crew trained." One game it dropped down to 56%. It fell 21% from 77 down to 56 in one game. And the reason why is because I played it when it first came out, when nobody was playing it yet, got the second gun, got up to 77% easily, and now the numbers have adjusted. I'm going to post a suggestion. You should not be allowed to get a gun mark the first 2 weeks a tank is released into the game, or maybe even the first month, because people pad them. And I don't know if other people do, but I've seen players do it, and it's not right. And it's true fact. Can't wait for all the hate mail. You hate Skill for LTU. You name shame him. It's 1,000 damage. You killed my soul. AMX13F3 FM AM. Thousand damage. Hopefully my gun mark went up. 54. This is, I don't know why it's so hard to get the gun mark. That game was 1,000 damage. I'm just going to check it out real quick. on the site that has all the secret gun mark information. So we go to nations. This is wattgarage.net. Go to France. Why isn't it working? It's not. Oh, there it is. You have to select the cookie thingy. Why isn't it working? For some reason, it's not working. There's something wrong with the site. The site is busted. Okay, France. I'm guessing tier 5. Amex 13 AM. It says 816 for the gun mark. Amex 13. Okay, tier 6. Let's check the tier 6. $1,200 damage you need for the gun mark. Huh. It's moving slow. Wonder why. So we'll check the German. Germany. Tier 6. Hummel. Let's see if it's 1,200. 1,200. Okay, maybe it's because of the time of day. If I wait until right now, there's only 5,000 people on the server. If I play when there's like 15,000, I'll do more damage. That's a little trick about stat padding. Depends on what tank you're playing. If you're playing Tank Destroyer, you might do better when there's fewer people on the server because your allies suck. So you're going to be hitting the enemy as they slowly advance while you're parked on the red line. Maybe I'll switch to TDs. And now we got the Pilsen map, which might as well be the worst map that they could have picked for me. And they picked a spawn I don't like. More guns. To put my little ring on. My lucky ring. Okay. Pick my nose. Did somebody bump me? Okay, this vehicle is the AMX 13 F3 AM. This is a French Tier 6 SPG, and the map is Pilsen. Which is in Czechostan. Yeah, you got it, buddy. 276 on the Cromwell. Cromwell was probably a British general. He was a military figure. His name was Cromwell. The reason why they named the tank after him is because he died because he got run over by a tank. So they honor him by naming a tank after him. And few people know this. Winston Churchill also got run over by a tank. He was carrying a gun at the time, so the tank is known as the Churchill gun carrier. Hey, I destroyed the Cromwell. Wasn't I aiming at a Churchill? No. I was aiming at a Cromwell. So I got 1 kill, 480 damage, 317 stun, and I got to be honest, I am a little stunned that I got 318 stun. Oh, this guy's going to be stunned so hard if I nail him through this opening. Oh, there's a shot right there. Yeah! Yeah. Sweet, sweet. I'm going to go check where this guy is, even though it looks like he's moving. I like to check guys out. Yeah, it's too bad. I knew I'd miss. You know, these Russian tanks, they are in the lower tiers, you could argue, a little bit slow. The American tanks, I think, are fun to play in every tier. And somewhat the French tanks. That was Korean Tank Hunter, by the way. British SPGs are not that fun in many tiers. You know, everybody talks about that FV304. Maybe it was fun at one time, but it has a limit to funness. What do you think? Oh, I screwed that up. I once died in playing paintball because a guy shot through 2 garbage cans that I was hiding behind. And he hit me in the buttocks. Okay, we're going to go after the buggy. I do want to get damage, and I don't want to aim at tanks that are already deceased, so I'm not going to aim at him. I could have repositioned, but I didn't, and I shall. God willing. You think the SPG's over here? It looks like somebody just blind fired over here. I'm going to fire. Got a lot of rounds. 16 rounds, which means it'll take me 8 minutes to use up all of my rounds. I probably could have hit the buggy. I'm going to pre-aim over here where this spotted vehicle is. I'm going to pre-aim over here where I think this SPG is. Nope. You can see he intelligently hid in the corner. You notice how there's a lag in my game? That's the lag. There's a little bit of lag, so if you see things that look laggy, I'm seeing it too, and it sucks. Big time. He's going to rant about his win rate. Oh, look at how beautiful he is. He's so pretty. Got all that crap, and he doesn't put camo on his tank. Yep. He saw you. That's the reason why you put camo on. I mean, come on. Use your brain. I'm going to tell the use your brain story next. Use your brain. You get sued if you say that to the rainbow people. And the rainbow people are the people not who you normally think are the rainbow people. They're the ones who tell everybody how they do everything wrong, how they dress, how they speak wrong, and use the wrong pronouns. Those are the rainbow people. And there's a lot of them. In the Philippines, there's a lot of them. Ugh. Can't stand it. I chat with women online, and they're always telling me, you should do this, you should do that. And I'm like, you're not my fucking mother. I'm 49 years old. You don't need to tell me to put a face mask on or to wash my hands. I don't need this crap. You said the word crap. We're not teaching our child to use negative words. Let's see how that works out. A child who always says yes. Okay, I did go up, so the marking is progressing. 1,000 damage. AMX 13 F3 AM. What did I make this video about? I don't remember. Here we go. Away we go. So effing hot in here. Custom emojis. I'm going to do a people emoji. See how that works out. Stop sign. Cat in a box. Wanted to check out that guy's camo. This vehicle is the AMX 13 F3AM Plus. This is a French Tier 6 SPG, and the map is Ghost Town. I was going to tell you the Brain Dead story. So, when I lived in Crazyland, where was I living? I was probably living in Medellin, Colombia at the time. I was going with some employees to a neighboring city, and the reason why we were going was to look for clients for my business. I used to operate an English school where I taught English to Spaniards, to Hispaniolas. And we were going to a neighboring town, which was probably like 2 hours away, to talk to businesses to see if they were interested in English classes and to scout a location, which we did, which was an office. And it was a cheap price. So when we got out of the van, there was more than one vehicle. We took more than one vehicle. And there were a lot of us that went. There could have been like 20 of us. I had a lot of employees. I had like 50 employees or something like that. I don't remember. I got a photograph that has me surrounded by my loving employees. And one of them, her name was Sandy, I believe. We got out of the van, and I said, okay. Duh! Okay. When we're going to be back here at 4 o'clock. Duh! And we're going to meet here. Duh! And we're going to go get something to eat at a restaurant. Duh! And it's probably going to be that restaurant right there because I don't want to walk all around town to look for a restaurant when there's obviously one right next to the van. And by right next to the van, I mean a short walking distance. kind of next to the van. So Sandy, who is not the brightest person, she says, what if the van's not here when we get here? And I should have said, well, you're going to be on time, of course. What I said was, well, if the van's not here, use your brain and look for us at the restaurant. And, I'm a friendly person. I said, oh, yeah, if the van's not here, use your brain. Look for us at the restaurant. Based on me saying that, she wanted to sue me. She's a rainbow person. I'm not talking about a rainbow person the way she thinks. She was so offended by what I said, she wanted to sue me. And I had to apologize to her. And I had to go with the management staff, with just her. I said, do you understand that when I said use your brain, I only meant it because it's a saying that we use in the United States in English that means, don't be a dumb effer. I said, do you understand that I didn't mean that you're stupid? That's what I had to apologize to her. Do you understand that when I said that, I only meant it because it's a saying that we use in the United States, and I did not mean that I think that you're stupid. And I had to do that. And I did fire her. I fired her very shortly after that. I'm a stupid person. And it's sad because I liked her up until that. And she was stupid. But I would have said use your brain to anybody. It's just something that we say. It's like they say dumb things. They say, whoa. And it means like cubo or something like that. And it means like, I don't know what the hell it means, but whatever it means, when they say it, it doesn't mean what they're saying. It's just some dumb thing that they say because they don't know any better. So I went for the destruction of the low hit point tank, which you really don't want to do when you're working on gun marks. You want to go for high damage, but you do want to do if you want to keep the game, extend the game. So that's why I did what I did. I apologize. It's so fucking hot in here. Fucking Philippines. I don't know why this guy is saying report Artie. There's only 2 Arties in the game. Hey, Artie, you get an A+. Here's my report. So obviously when I one-shot this guy, he's going to spot me. Oh, F you. I could have gone for that T25/2, but you'll notice I did not. Oh, F you. F-U-N. Hey, lots of fun. F-U-N. Bafangul. That's an English word. It's a word my mother used a lot. Hey, Bafangul. I don't want to say the other thing she said. That was one of the nicer things she said. She used her second grade education language ability against me. Hey, report the CS-52. from the RDTT2 clan. You know he's a good player if he's in the RDTT clan. I actually considered joining that clan. They probably would not accept me now because they're rainbow people now. It's a rainbow site. Oh, you said the Bafangul. Oh, you said use your brain. We don't like. It's rainbow people. So that was 800 damage, Ghost Town. Great. Oh, look at that. We can see what the rainbow person has to say. Not you. The SU-14 killed himself. I was just joking for my live stream. Okay, Special K. You've just been name shamed. Just been name shamed. So he's going to go up a skill. One thing you want to do, put your crappy crew on your loader. Man, it's so fucking hot. It was 800 damage. 800. AMX 13 F3 AM. 800 damage. Ghost Town. This was the use your brain. use your brain. Hey, use your brain. Okay, I got to do something about the heat. It's 8:15 p.m. and it's so fucking hot over here. Maybe it's the lights. Hey, looking to the light. Okay, I need 1 second to fix my beautiful hair. Is there a reflection on my face or something? You got the reflection. This. I need to take a quick break. Need to eat some food.
This tank is the AMX 13105. This is a French Tier 10 light tank. The map is Malinovka, and this is a ranked battle. So ranked battles in Division 3, spotting was really easy. I got tons of spotting damage. You do have to learn. You can't be aggressive. If you watch my random battle spotting, I cannot play like that in ranked battles because the other spotters are really good in ranked battles. So what I had to do was I had to predict what the other spotters were going to do, and I had to come up with a counter plan, which ended up working. I think I'm going to fail in this position. I really don't remember. I think this is the game. This was my last game in Division 3 before I moved up to Division 2. And it was my last spotting game because spotting really was ineffective in Division 2. What's interesting about this game is that the game before it I lost, and when you lose a chevron. But what happened was I believe this game went by very quickly, and I won a chevron, moved into the next division, and then lost the game that I had started before this, which would have kept me from advancing. That's why, okay, I discovered a bug in the game, and that explains why the game had a bug. I'm going to have to post this in the forums. So that explains why I wasn't credited properly my chevrons when I was in second division in my first game. So you can see that I'm moving into active spotting. I got 1,500 spotting damage. One of the enemy light tanks is out of the game. The EBR is still in the game. I do have to watch out for it. In ranked battles, if the EBR knows where you are, they're going to come looking for you. So if you get spotted, you have to reposition. It's not like random battles where you got a lot of time. In ranked battles, the scouts are a lot better. They're not as good as I am, but they're a lot better than random battles. This is probably not a position where I'm going to get a lot of spotting damage. I'm probably going to have to reposition at some point. Basically, what you do is you look at the map and you say, where's there gaps in the coverage where there could be potential enemy tanks, and who's already within my circle. You can see there's a lot of enemy tanks within my circle right now. So the position's really not that bad. So now I'm going to have to play without a driver, but what you're noticing is that a lot of the enemy tanks are up on the hill. They're going to go down the hill, and that's where I'm going to pull through and get a lot of spotting damage without a driver. I am a good spotter, so I know the best place to spot for them to come down the hill. And I know that they know the best place to spot. So I'm not going to spot in the best place to spot. I'm going to spot from somewhere else. So that's an example of how you outsmart them. Nobody would spot from this position. It's not a good spotting position for the hill. But because I'm going to be here, they're never going to figure out that I'm here. They're going to randomly fire in these bushes over here, and they're not going to hit me. So I'm not going to get the best amount of spotting damage. For example, this is not the best place to spot. So what's going to happen is that tank can become unspotted behind that bush, and I won't be able to know. We're going to have tanks that I'm not going to spot. But this is going to, like I said, it's probably going to pull us through to win the game. That Progetto is probably not going to make it. It is a little scary, but my team is going to pull through. The E100 is probably not going to make it. You see that there's an Object 140, but there's probably other tanks up there. And you know, it's good that I can't spot them because then they think that there's no spotter. And if they think there's no spotter, they come down the hill. And then they overextend themselves, and then they can't retreat. So you can see I'm looking in case if he spots me, I'm going to fire and kill him. So I'm up to 2,700 spotting damage. It looks like I know that this spotting position is not very good. I'm not going to knock any trees down because I know these guys are good players. You don't want to knock the trees down if you're in this position. In a random battle, I would knock the trees down. And you don't want to sit in the bush. The enemy knows that you're going to spot from that bush, so don't sit in it. I might be too far close to that bush right now. It's possible that we might see some blind firing come in later in the game. I'm not sure. I'm up to 3,600 spotting damage. Score is 4-2. It's funny you're playing this game and it looks like he's aiming his gun in your direction. If an enemy blind fires in your area, the best thing to do is reposition. or obviously align yourself so you think he's not going to be able to blind fire you. So you see that there's an object 104, 140, and the Progetto is still in the game. He's got a lot less hit points. But they're able to get a little bit closer. He's out of the game now. I got 280. I didn't get any spotting damage on the Progetto. But you can see we're bunched up in the corner here. The enemy is failing to swing around because we got good defense. They should really come up through the middle. That's beautiful. I love the fact that I can spot him right there and he doesn't know that he's spotted. If he knew he were spotted, he wouldn't sit there. So you can see that I'm reversing so I can snipe at him. Unfortunately, I got spotted. And with the fact that my driver, you see the object 277 spotted me because I didn't know he was up there. I have really good spotting range. It's really maxed out on this tank. You probably can't get any better with this tank with all the directives and equipment, improved equipment, etc. However, you know what? My camo might not be as good, but my spotting is really good. My camo is pretty good, but I might have one crew member at like 83% for camo, because you want to prioritize spotting over camo on these tanks, which is why I do not use a camouflage net unless I'm sniping. Score 7-4. I'm up to 5,300. I believe I am going to get 6,400 damage in this game, which is going to earn me 2 chevrons. And I'm out of the game. Okay, so that's the game. I did really well. I'm sure that my team is going to do fine without me. We really held the enemy back. If you have any questions or comments, post below. This vehicle is the T92 HMC. This is an American Tier 10 SPG, and the map is Tundra. This is also a ranked battle. You can see that I am in Division 3. I've been in Division 3 for about an hour, and I played a couple games. I should do fine. I am stuck in my house because of the cooties going around, and the people who decide if we go out or not said we can't go out or we get arrested. And then the people who censor what you say on the internet won't let me say what I want to say. So sorry about the weird microphone. I'm trying to get it to be good, and I really don't know if it's software or hardware. I got to do some testing, but it doesn't matter because we're not allowed to leave anyway in my city. And the police checkpoint is right outside of my house, and the stores are closed anyway, so it would not matter. But that is life here in the Philippines.
E tu Brian? This vehicle is the AMX 13 F3AM. This is a French Tier 6 SPG, and the map is Kharkov. So I really don't remember my starting position. This is kind of where, maybe I went too far. Yeah, like kind of over here. So remember this easy to remember spot. We're going to knock this building down, which will never cause problems later in the game. And knock that tree down. And we're going to Wang Chung tonight. Everybody, Wang Chung tonight. K3. Ah. Estúpido. Es súper estúpido.
Okay, so I did not have my microphone plugged in, but now using a little bit of magic, elven magic, now I do have it plugged in. What I did was I took the plug and I put it in the hole. Wow. Whoa. Yeah, so there was a TV show from the 90s, you don't know, with some guy named Joey. I don't know if it was Blossom or Full House. Maybe it was Full House. And the kid would say, whoa, whoa. Or it could have been Punky Brewster. Oh, yeah, Punky Brewster. Yeah, Punky Brewster. She wears 2 different color socks. And she's very punky. Hey, Punky Brewster. Let's go punk something. Yeah, now she's probably turned into a wrestler. No, that's some other chick. Some other chick. Who's the chick who turned into Cyndi Lauper? It's Cyndi Lauper. Lou Albano. And Lou Albano. He's like a Cyndi Lauper. He's like a fat man. With like a rubber band. Like a rubber band in the face. Oh, come on. Oh, good. Captain Lou Albano. He would if Lou Albano were playing World of Tanks, he would have been a captain. Hey, Captain Lou Albano. Yeah, so Lou Albano, he was a fun guy. Those of you who are unaware of who he is really don't remember much about him, other than he was fat and he had rubber bands in his beard. Back when TV was good, not the crap you get now. When wrestling was real. When fat men used to manage music wrestlers, celebrity wrestling. I think I'm going to leave town. Not happy with the target selection. I think I'm going to get this M44. I'm going to get him hard. He's going to get AMX'd. There's a wheeled SPG. Yeah! There's a wheeled SPG in the South Africa tech tree. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a special vehicle because it can also fire like a tank destroyer in the TD mode. It's on the Project 42 YouTube channel. I think South Africa uses wheeled vehicles. So, that's why they have the wheeled SPG. And they have like wheeled light tanks or something like that. Britain has wheeled medium tanks, which they say might be coming. They were talking about possibly this year. But the Italian heavies will probably come first. Like Lou Albano, he's an Italian heavy. Lou Albano. Hey, Luigi Albano. He's probably Albanian. I am looking up Lou Albano on the internet right now. Yeah, he's Italian. He looks like Jack Black. And he was an old dude. He died 80. Okay, one of his photos looks like Jack Black. The one that happens to be on Google. Captain Lou Albano. He was from Lazio. He's from Lazio. 1,300 damage because we always round up, which is most fair. Want to make sure everybody gets the proper credit. Hey, you make sure he gets the proper credit. Ow! 56% for marks of excellence. So my prediction, I would make it up to 62% today. AMX 13. Is it F3 AM? Was it 1,600 damage? Should I put Lou Albano? Ow! I'm going to have a heart attack while everyone's watching. Ow! Fuck this shit. 1,300 damage. It's 1,300 damage. Battle. So I'm going to give you a little tip. suck, quit playing the game. No, the tip is use SPGs to level up your crew. Because the SPG, you don't need to have all those crew skills. Only a few like concealment are important in BIA. So use them to level up your crew and then transfer them into other tanks when they're on their like third crew skill. And that's today's a crew tip. And don't stand in the middle of the road. That's the other crew tip for today. So many. Soleimani. Soleimani. Only hands. No, in Spanish, only peanuts. Soleimani. Only peanuts. Soleimani. Lu Albano. This vehicle is the AMX 13 F3AM. This is the first game today that I'm playing it. This is a French Tier 6 SPG, and the map is La Cavele. So I'm going to tell you a secret position. You see this pole right? Fuck this shit. I want to tell you the secret position, so I'm going to tell you. You shall be told. Okay, you see how there's like a pole right in front of me, right there, and there's this tree here, and there's like a bush over here. This area, the Lakeville Triangle, as I like to call it, that's an amazing sniping position. You can snipe all sorts of great positions like down this road and stuff, and into town. It's an amazing position. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about my second job after I no longer returned to college. So I worked at the first online game site, and it was called Riddler. I know it's an amazing name. So it was primarily crosswords and trivia and other stupid games. I don't remember what they were. They were dumb games. And the guy that I worked with, his name was Tim or Arnold or something. Funny joke. His name was Timothy. And Tim was a Java programmer. I didn't like Java because Java was a pain in the ass. It had a lot of bugs back then. We're talking about 1996. And he was developing new games. He made like a thing where you had pictures, and it was like a jigsaw puzzle game, but you had to play against other people. So like while you're trying to do the jigsaw puzzle, other people were also trying to do it. And that's what made it fun. And he actually walked around New York City with his camera, and he took pictures, and he put them in the game. And there's actually a picture of me climbing a palm tree that's in the game. And there were some pictures that were really tough. He liked to do pictures that had circles in them, like sewer covers and things like that. He just, for some reason, thought that was the best picture in the world. So we worked at this website, Riddler, and at the Christmas party, I met the boss. Maybe it was a Christmas party. I don't remember. His name was Mike Palucci. And Mike says, where are you from? I said, Syracuse. And Mike says, oh, I got relatives in Syracuse. And I said, oh, I got relatives named Palucci in Syracuse, you know? They're all dead now. As soon as I said that, he didn't want to speak to me ever again. And keep in mind, I only met this guy for like 30 seconds. So my uncle Cesare Palucci lived in Syracuse. And I know we're likely related because there's no other Palucci's in Syracuse, right? It was just Cesare and his kids, whatever their names are. I don't remember. Bobby, Frankie. Bobby. And I'm sure that they still call him Bobby and Frankie. Hey, Bobby, why don't you come over here? And I actually worked in a building that he designed, which was a dining hall, convention center. But, you know, it's a big empty room. And I worked there dining. No, I worked there, you know, setting up tables for the diners. So I worked at this company. And, you know, back then, PlayStation was an online website. And they had two games. It was Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. But our site was the number one site. They were the number, 1,000 site or something like that. So Sony was one of our big advertisers. And Bingo was another popular website back then. Yeah, you're like the Bingo. So Bingo was his name-o. Bingo was a game where every half an hour the new Bingo game would start. So what you would do is you would connect to the website, and then on the half hour, the game would start, and you would get your cards, and they'd start calling Bingo, and there would be, like, we were amazed. Oh, my God, there's 10 people playing. I don't remember how many people were playing, but it wasn't like a million people playing. But maybe you had games where there were 50 people or 100 people playing at the same time. So I remember Tim made this Scrabble game, the jigsaw puzzle game, and you know what? That was the one that we all loved. And the multiplayer crossword was a lot of fun. I did the high score system. I wrote a high score system. And I told Tim, I said, I'll do it. It'll take me a day. And he didn't believe me. It took me like a day to do it. And what I learned is that when you have a high score system, people wanted to get the high score. So they played so many more games. The number of games they played just skyrocketed from that day onward because everybody wanted to be the high scoring player. And because I was so good at it, I was one of the top players. And I put Riddler's staff so they knew that I was the one playing. And people complained. They said, why is your staff playing the games when it's supposed to be fixing the games? And, I was the high scorer after work hours. After 6 p.m., I would go home, be like 8 p.m. That's when I would start racking up the high score. And, when somebody would beat me, I would just start playing again. And the high score system, I hit the button over here, and it brought up this tank. How did it do that? Does it, click through? I hit the manageable bonus, and it I've seen it happen before. So I would play after work, get the high score. One of the players actually challenged me. I beat him. And I played with a little mouse pad. Because I had hand injuries, which is another story. That's actually a neck injury. F you. If you like. Oh, so many good stories. Okay, so that's it for today. Check you later, loser. What was that, 600 damage? 900? It was like 3,000 damage. 1,000 damage. I won 1,000 damage. So AMX 13F3, AM 1123 damage. Lakeville, which I also call Pondville. The Riddler. You like the Riddler. Hey, you look at your face. Okay, did I look at this number here? 56.55. Bonjour, 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 which means good day. Does it really mean good day? Jour, jou, bonjour. Hey, me like a bonjour, bonjour, jou. Isn't that to play? Isn't bonjour like good play? Jour, jouer is to play, right? Or maybe jour is like the name of a French guy. When you say bonjour, you're saying, hey, French man. Hey, Jacques, bon Jacques. Hey, bon Jacques, bon Jacques. What was the story I was going to tell about Riddler? Oh, yeah, there was a girl making out with our boss, Melody. What's her name? No, Carol. Melody. I called her Melody. Kissy, kissy, kissy. She kissed the boss on the lips at the Christmas party. And she wasn't drunk. Well, he was older than her. He was older than her. By one month. Oh, my hand. My accident. Tried to kill myself. I tried to kill myself. But the Melody, she saved me. I have such a funny story. Such a funny story. This vehicle is the AMX 13 F3AM. This is a Tier 6 French SPG, and the map is Siegfried Line. This is an example of a game where I'm going to play very poorly because I'm going to do some commentary which might be amazing. This could be the best video you ever watch. And this is live. I have a very funny story. One of the funniest stories I ever had. And, I usually go down on these guys hard. I usually go down here in the center. Okay, so basically what happened was I was in New York City. This was in 1996. And I was riding the subway, and this homeless guy sat next to me, and I just gave him a kiss. No, that's not what happened. What happened was I was on the subway coming from the Upper East Side. Nobody was sitting next to me. There was an empty seat next to me. I remember that there was at least one woman sitting across from me because they're your target. They're what they call the mark, right? And this Taiwanese guy comes in. You can see where this is going. Taiwanese guy comes in, sits next to me in the empty seat. Doesn't look at me, doesn't say anything, just sits next to me. And in New York City, nobody says anything. I've had cases where people have spoken on the subway, which will be other stories. Taiwanese guy sits next to me, and I turn to him, and I say, when are you going back to your country? And I know you're going to say, what a horrible thing to say. And I hope everybody did. This guy was my coworker. He was a friend of mine. I don't know why he didn't say hello to me. he was probably a quiet guy. I already knew he was going back to Taiwan in 2 weeks. And I really don't remember the whole story. I should have prepared this. I'll tell it in another video. I knew he was going back. That's why I said, when are you going back to your country? And when I said it in a really mean way. So he responded to me. I said, when are you going back to your country? He responded back. He said, 2 weeks. And I probably said, fuck you. Okay, so I'm just going to tell the rest of the story real quick. So, I goofed around a little bit for all the people listening. And I said to him, you need someone to take you to the airport. And he said, I said, do you have a lot of stuff? And he said, yeah, I got computers. I said, you need someone to take you to the airport? And he said, yes. I said, oh, when are you going on Saturday? And I met with him in Queens because I had a minivan, which will be another story. And I picked him up in Queens on a Saturday, and his roommate was there. His roommate was crying. And I said, why are you crying? He said, oh, because we won't be friends anymore. I miss hanging out with him. And I drove him to the airport. I said, don't worry about the traffic or anything. We made it fine. I said, I'd done this enough times. I know how long it takes to get there. He had to go from Queens down to JFK. It takes like an hour and a half. On a Saturday, it's no big deal. And said goodbye to him. Never saw him again. But it was like funny. Everything I said on the subway, like, I will take you to the airport so that you can leave our country. I was talking I was talking so that everybody who's eavesdropping thought it was just weird. These effing losers. And I was killed by an Afghan war vet. That's embarrassing. I honestly was going to say, when I was aiming at that T-29, I said, oh, don't worry, this will be a slow game. This will be a slow game. Exiting battle. That's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. I don't think that the marks of excellence update properly because it says 55.8. I had a horrible game. It really didn't go down much, or it didn't change. Siegfried and Roy. Special K. Goodbye, Special K. Advancing slowly. I've been playing for a while. It's not going up that fast. I'm not so happy. This vehicle is the AMX 13 F3 AM. This is a French Tier 6 SPG. The map is El Halif. This is a desert map. It's also a horrible map for SPG. I used to love this map, but they destroyed it. They made it into a corridor map because it was one of those maps that was really challenging, especially if you were a light tank player. So one thing about the map is that it used to have a choke point. Before they had all this nonsense over here, they just had like the corner. Like everybody had to go to the same, where that Type 64 is, the same location in the corner. And it was only 3 tanks wide. Everybody had to play there. And it would be very crowded. And it was on a steep slope, so it was slow to climb up the little slope. And you had to be a good player to play in that position. So basically, everybody would come over here and fight. And you didn't have all this other flanking space or medium tank hull down spot. And this hill in the middle was not here, which means it was very dangerous to cross through the center of the map. However, I was a high-risk player, so I was always crossing through the middle over to the other side before other people were doing it. It's something that I learned on my own. I didn't learn from watching other people do it. And I learned all these different techniques, and I said, if you make it to the other side, you spot the enemy. And your tank destroyers, everybody used to line up over here. Half the team would line up over here, and they would snipe, and you'd get all this sniping damage. And it was called the TD meta at the time, which was probably back in 2013. And that was before they moved to the frontal armor heavy tank meta. And I really enjoyed it because it was challenging. Then they changed it. Now it's not challenging so much anymore. And I don't recall if they had this road that you came up. I really don't remember. But they probably didn't. They probably added this to make it easier. And I was like, why are you doing this? The game is challenging. And you're dumbing it down. I'm dumbing it down. Down, down, down. So that's why you want to move after every shot, so that they have no shot, Sherlock. But you knew that? No shot, Sherlock. Okay, so he's probably going to fire at me again. So I'm going to effing get out of here. You see, he did. He fired at me. You don't want to move towards the enemy SPG. You want to move perpendicular so he has problems aiming. He'll have an aim fart, as I like to call it. And I'm going to go forward because I have a faster speed. Like, he knows if he keeps on missing me, he knows that I'm moving. He already knows I'm moving. He knows I'm moving after every shot. He's not going to go after me. Because he's not that dumb. I'm going to tell you, don't do what he's doing. Don't do the counter arty. It's a waste of time. I did it. I learned how to do it. Been doing it for a long time. It's mostly a waste of time. You've only do it if all of your other options are exhausted. First, you go after spotted tanks, obviously the ones that are a threat. Then go after unspotted tanks, which means you're going to blind fire where you think a tank destroyer is likely unspotted. And then you go after the SPGs. Because those tank destroyers that are hiding in the campy areas, they tend to have squishy armor. Oh, I destroyed a VK. Woo! Yay! I believe that was a blind kill. If I started I wanted to tell a story about my car, but I never did. So I want to say, I want to talk about my first car, but if I do that, everyone's going to know my bank password. What was the make and model of your first car? It was a 1980 Rolls-Royce Phantom. No, so I don't want to talk about my first car. So I'm going to talk about my second car. You know what? I'm just going to say it's my first car. Oh, I drove it. Let's just say my second car had the ability to fly. It wasn't my fault. It was a Pontiac Sundance. And what happened was I was in Ithaca, New York, which is where Cornell University is. Ask me why. And it was snowing, and I was on a road with no shoulder, and the snowplow was coming, and I was about to cross a one-lane bridge, and the snowplow driver was also about to cross the one-way bridge. But the difference is the snowplow driver chose not to let me cross the one-way bridge. So I had to speed up a little bit. Not much. I mean, I didn't have to speed up, but I said, you know what, just in case I'm going to speed up because obviously this numbnuts is not slowing down. So I sped up a little bit and went over to the right to give him lots of room. Not that he moved over to the right to give me lots of room. And he had the big snowplow, the ones with the triple blades and the sign on the front that says "Get the F out of the way." And I had to move. I moved to the right because he was gonna wipe snow all over my car. He would have buried my car. All the snow coming off of that blade. That effing loser. Unfortunately, there was no shoulder on the road, which I knew because I had driven on that road when there was no snow on the road. But what happened is, once I was on the shoulder, you can't get back onto the road because the road is all ice. When you try to get back on the road, your car spins around. Oh, I had front wheel drive. So what happened was when I was turning the wheel to get back on the road, instead of getting onto the road, the rear end of my car spun or something like that. And that's when my car went flying off the road. It literally went into the air because it wasn't into a ditch, but we were way up because this is farm area. You know, driving by some redneck's farm. And because of that, they make the road level higher so that when it rains, you don't flood the road. You know, it just floods the farm and all the guys' effing crops. F you, you loser. 69, Kirill Nazarov. So, car went flying off the road, which is sad because I like that car. It has a Mitsubishi engine. I believe that might be the Mitsubishi Mirage. And went flying in the air. And I was like, am I on the road? You know what I mean? I never had accidents in the winter. This is like, you know, lived in the snow for good 30, 40 years. And this was like my only snow accident. And after that, the car wobbled. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go buy a new used car. And I got like a Ford Contour. What are they? There was a special name for the Contour, like the 100,000 mile, no oil change car. It was a nice car. I actually liked it. It was two different colors. Because the guy repaired Ford Contours out of his barn. And the colors didn't match. My front end was from another Ford Contour that had a smashed rear end. So I had two different color. If you had to be like really close on a sunny day to say, hey, you know, this car is two different colors. If you were just like not noticing, you really wouldn't notice. And I got it cheap, like $2,000, and it had like 20,000 miles, and it lasted a long time. It was a great deal. I got every car I bought was a great deal. Holy shit, that's got to be another video. 1,300 damage, F you to whoever killed me. 56.5. It's going up slowly, but it's going up. Is that 1,300? It was 1,300. It was 1,300. It was a 13. Come on. AMX 13. F3 AM 1,300. Damage L. Aloof. It was a Chrysler or something. No, Plymouth. Oh, flying car I should put. Put it in flying car. Hey, carito. Let's look at Lou Albano again.
As the Intercontinental Champion and representing as well.
Yeah. Let me say this. I wasn't thrilled at the aspect of putting the magnificent Morocco against Iron Mike Sharp. Both.
Okay, good. Lou Albano. I wonder if they have a little finger emoji. This vehicle is the AMX 13 F3AM. This is a French Tier 6 SPG. The map is Pilsen. There's a spot that I absolutely love, but I can't tell you where it is because I really don't know. I haven't made a spotting position video in a long time featuring this position, so it's kind of hard for me to remember where it is, but it's kind of here. And you see all the amazing things you can do with this amazing position, which this might... Oh, man, I got a fucking headache. Oh, so I was going to tell this quick story about all of my cars. Every car I ever bought, I got a great deal on. What was my first car? I remember I bought a Mazda Miata for $9,000, sold it for $6,000. Or maybe I bought it for $12,000 and sold it for $9,000. It was a 97 Miata with 4,000 miles on it. I learned something great about the Miata, and that it is not a great car. It might be better now because people complain about it and then they Miatize it. Come on, what the? Oh, maybe it was because I was hitting something. I don't know. So the Miata wasn't that great on the highway. It wasn't a super steady ride, but around town it was fun, and I saved my aunt's life driving the Miata, which is another story. I ran her over. So I traded that in for a Honda S2000. If you know about my television commercials, my Honda S2000 is in one of the television commercials that has some girls playing tennis, and one of the girls drives the Honda S2000. That's a fun car. That thing sticks to the ground. I would spin the tires by mistake all the time. It took me like 5,000 miles to figure out how to not spin the tires on it. And it was glued to the ground. It had so much traction. Traction is like when you got all your arms broken and they hook you up to the machine or something, which I know from playing video games, of course. From playing the hospital video game, 2 Point Hospital. Dos Puente. So the Honda S2000 was fun, but it got rear-ended by a tractor trailer, and I ended up getting good money for it. Yeah, I got like $9,000 for it. and I traded it in for a Chrysler. What the frick? What I was going to say frick. What's the name of that Chrysler? It's like the nice Chryslers. A Chrysler Cordoba. Oh, Tatu, you like the Chrysler Cordoba. A Chrysler. The nice Chrysler. They probably still sell it. Like a 300, they call it. Maybe it's called like a Chrysler 400. Chrysler 300. I got the silver one, which means that it's got silver paint on the side. Got special silver paint. So I got the Chrysler 300 for like $22,000. Brand new. And I was like, man, this is a good deal. This was when Obama was doing the clunker, Cars for Clunkers deal. And my brother smashed it. He smashed all my cars. So I told you about the one that got hit by the tractor trailer. This one, what happened was I had prepaid so much because I was paying like an extra $50 every month that I had like prepaid by 6 months. So one day I went into my bank account and I said, oh, I'm going to stop the automatic payments because I prepaid too much and I'll just pay it manually. And then I forgot to make the manual payments. So what happened was after 6 months goes by, I missed my payments and I didn't know I had missed my payments. So the bank called me and said, explain to me what had happened. And I said, oh, that's weird because I was trying to log in and I didn't understand something about the website. It wouldn't let me make a payment. And they said, oh, that's because you're overdue by 30 days. You can no longer do it online. Something weird was going on. I said, oh, can I pay you right now? She said, yeah, sure, you can pay me right now. And I made the payment. And then they said, oh, by the way, they might tow your car. We've already notified the tow company to come and take the car that you just paid in full. And we talked about it, and I said, the automatic payments for some reason aren't going through. We went through this whole thing, and we figured out the story about what happened. So I told my father, I said, you're not going to believe what happened. Because of all these prepayments, I missed payments. They didn't tell me, and they said they might tow my car. And then like a half an hour later, I'm probably playing video games, my father says, hey, Dave, hey, they're towing your car. The tow truck is here. So I went outside, ran back inside, got the cordless phone, ran back outside. That's a long run to go from outside through the living room, through the dining room, through the kitchen, and then back outside. And he had already lifted the vehicle and he was already driving. And I opened the door while he was driving it. And keep in mind, the vehicle is actually lifted off the ground. And I dove into the car. Wow, it must have been like this high off the ground. And he knew that I did that, so he stopped in the middle of the road and he couldn't move anymore. And then I called the police. And I actually cried a little bit. I was literally crying. And I told him, call your boss. And he called his boss, and he sat there for like a half an hour in the middle of the road, and he eventually he dropped the car really hard, and then he just left. Oh, I was talking about the great deals. So I traded that in for a car that I paid $13,000 brand new, and I just sold it. I don't know how much I sold it for because my aunt hasn't told me yet. My aunt sold the car, but I think she may have sold it for $7,000 because, she's in New York. I'm in the Philippines. And that means I paid like $6,000 for an $18,000 car. And it was a nice car. It was more than 18. And that's it. Those are all the stories. No, wait, no. I had the other one, the Reno, which was totaled, and I made $1,000 profit. My brother. Did I tell you my brother damaged? He damaged every single one of my cars. Multiple accidents. All of them. Joe, F you. I know you're not watching. So I'm going to give you the link. What a horrible game. AMX 13 F3 AM. Great deals on cars. F the U. Fun. Fun means noodle in Chinese. It's what you learn when you hang around lots of Chinese people. Fun, it means a noodle. Fun. Chow fun. That's what I had today for lunch. Chow fun. Chow fun. Chow fan. In Peru, they call it chaufa. 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 And nobody spells it the same. Everybody spells it differently. Everybody spells it. Oh, I wonder if the light is becoming dimmer. It's a dimmer like a you. Over the time. Bafangul. You are gonna pee your pants. Subscribe to my channel, or I F you up. The last game. A pew. Pinko de pew. The pink, the pew. So this is the AMX F3 AM. AMX 13 F3 AM. I've almost always spawn SPG on the west. I don't know if I've ever played on this side. Hey, you a stupido. I no remember. My member is small. I have a small member. Me no like you. A little bit difficult to maneuver. It's difficult to maneuver. You effed that up. So far, not such a bad position. And not so bad. Arm hurts. It hurts. Having miscellaneous arm pain. I am having arm pain. Move this over to here. The Wolverine. Oh, he's dead. You don't want to leave. You know, like. Okay, Chaffee. Hey, badly boy. Yeah, I can't do that. When I was young, I used to do all sorts of voices and impressions. But, you know, I'm talking about like when I was 13. I was really good at doing vocal impressions, mostly cartoon characters. But, you know, after not doing it for 30 years, not so good anymore. I also peed in my pants. Mucho. Molto. Molto bene. Ah, you like this, molto mucho. that's what happens when you hit the wrong key on the keyboard. So I almost drove off the bridge. If you guys know the map Port, there was a bridge and people used to jump off of it all the time. It was so much fun. The first time someone showed a video, of someone falling off the bridge, like no one had ever thought of jumping off a bridge to kill a tank. It was probably on a Jingles video. I don't know if Jingles has 2 accounts or if he just changed his name because, he used to be Bohemian Eagle. When I first started watching him, he was Bohemian Eagle. Wow, 39 damage. That's the best I can get. The best a man can get. I was talking about impressions, so I did a lot of impressions when I was younger. There's very few that I can still do, like Kermit the Frog or the guy who counts, the counter, the Formica. I'm going to count from 1 to 10. That's a very useful voice if you need to count anything. Transylvania. Tasmania is the one that's in Australia. Tasmania. I come from Tasmania. A dingo ate your baby. That's actually a true story. A dingo really did eat the woman's baby. And she went to prison because the Australians didn't believe her. They said there's no way. Dingoes don't eat babies. They don't eat human babies. So she went to prison. They assumed that she killed her baby. And I don't think it was an infant. I think it was a little bit older, like maybe a year or so. And she went to prison. And after a while, she had been in prison for a while, a couple of years, let's say 3 to 5 years. What happened was someone was perhaps hiking and found the dingo den. And the dingo den had children's clothing in it. And it was the children's clothing from her baby that she described that the child was wearing. So they let her out of prison. They actually let her go. Said, "Oh, we're sorry. We imprison you beyond a reasonable doubt for 5 years of your life in a country that doesn't have free speech." Another interesting story about Australia, the Prime Minister disappeared. So they had a Prime Minister, an Australian Prime Minister, who was a swimmer. And one day he said, "I'm going to go swimming over there." And they said, "No, you can't go swimming over there. Too dangerous." And he went swimming and nobody ever saw him again. And he was the missing Prime Minister. You can look it up on the internet. So he was there was another one. This wasn't an Australian guy. Like a Malaysian guy. There was like a civil war. Somebody kidnapped the president. And they kidnapped him, and the country didn't want him. So they refused to give in to the demands of whoever kidnapped him. They didn't want to give the money or anything. They just said, "No, we don't care." So they just gave him back. It was some Asian country. Maybe China. China. Oh! How you like? I don't want to get hit by that Hummer. The Hammer. The Hammer. He's a German. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? You sprechen Sie. You sprechen Sie the Deutsch. Me no sprechen Sie. Yeah. I could have moved and all that crap. I just... you move, you gotta re-aim. And what would I have gotten? 44 hit points? I need probably 44 hit points to get the mastery badge in this game. So we'll see how the Super Hellcat does. These tanks are fast. They do like 70 or something. He's got the orange circle over here. That means he's got greater aiming accuracy. Look, he's got the sexy lady, the German lady. How do they say? Herr Kloiber, Herr Kloiber. I don't remember German. I studied German in college. I think I've been to Frankfurt. I don't remember. The airport, I mean. When I went from Venice to Lisbon, I don't remember. Just kind of, oh, did I? I think I went to Frankfurt and my friend lost his passport. Martin. He was my first employee in South America, Martin. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Stunt driver. Stunt driver. You heard it, folks. Now you know. New internet series, Stunt Driver. So you might know I have the Jump and Drive series. Now it's going to be Stunt Driver. The engine is broken. Vegetables. You win. His ally hit him. Mud Shark took me out of the game. Yeah, you know what? I would have gotten at most 44 more hit points and killed the other 3 remaining enemy tanks. There's no way I would have got... Oh, you know what? I'm an SPG, so maybe I could have gotten some more damage. Or as they say in France, dommage, fromage, formaggio, a mozzarella. The cheese here sucks so bad. Yeah, if you like cheese, don't leave the United States. You're never going to see good cheese again. 800 damage. The third world is not known for its cheese. AMX-13 F3AM, 800 damage. That is Berlin. I don't know what to call it other than third world cheese. I don't even remember what I talked about during this video. What the F did I talk about? I just put third world cheese. Stunt driver. I got to see if I got the stunt driver video. I don't know if I recorded it or not. You know what? Maybe I didn't get it. Fuck that shit. I didn't get it. Why didn't I get it? Fuck. It shows mountain pass video. Ah, fuck it. I didn't get it. That's it. That's it. F you. If you like.